Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing the 2024 Mazda 3 Speed. Well, kind of. So here's the deal. The Southtown Mazda here in Sandy, Utah built up a Mazda 3 to basically be a modern Mazda 3 Speed, which I think is really cool. That's what we're going to be reviewing today. So I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And they actually have some really good deals going on with the Mazda inventory currently. They've got like 5% under invoice on a lot of vehicles, which is significantly lower than what a lot of other Mazda dealers are charging, because a lot of Mazda dealers are still charging MSRP for cars. So yeah, definitely check them out if you're looking for a new Mazda. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have an intake that has been added. Now, they haven't technically done anything when it comes to tuning with the engine, but with this setup and a little bit of access port action, you could easily get substantially more power out of this. But anyways, stock power outputs with this from the turbocharged 2.5 liter four-cylinder are 227 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque on regular gas, 250 horsepower, 320 for the torque if you use premium fuel. And I mean, again, we all know that intakes don't add a massive amount of horsepower, but it adds something, and it gives you the ability to do a lot more if you want to. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe, because I post content every single day. So one of the other things that's happened to this particular Mazda 3 is everything's been blacked out. So you guys can see with the headlight bezel how that's darker. Everything here with the grille is blacked out. Even the Mazda logo itself on the front end is darker. And then look at the bodywork here on the front end, how aggressive that is. So it definitely gives it a sportier appearance. Now, when it comes to tires and wheels, it's actually the same size as what you have from stock. So 215, 45, 18 in the front and over in the rear. But you can see that these wheels look significantly cooler than what you get from the factory, all blacked out. Now, this also has lowering springs as well. We'll see what the ride quality is like with the lowering springs. And then you guys can see here with the side skirt. And if I take a few steps back, you can see with the wheels and the side skirt and everything being blacked out, again, has such a sporty appearance. And then, of course, we've got the Mazda 3 Turbo's spoiler here on the back end, which just always looks sporty. And then notice with the taillights how everything is kind of blacked out with the bezel part. And then you can see with the badges here all blacked out as well. And then look at the diffuser here at the bottom. It's pretty crazy with the exhaust tips. And so putting it all together on the exterior, this car just looks so cool. Now, I'm not going to do a full tour of the interior, but I just want to show you the interior that this one has loaded up. Really nice material use in normal Mazda fashion. We'll start her up quickly so you guys can see. So you have stuff like heated seats, dual zone climate, heated steering wheel, stuff, the normal infotainment system where you control it via a dial, got the 3-gauge layout, all of that. But yeah, I just want to show you loaded up interior, and yes, it does have a sunroof. Okay, so here's the window sticker for this Mazda 3. You can see this is a Premium Plus hatchback, and you can see all the standard equipment here, and notice the MSRP there before any of the options have been added, so $37,815. And then we've got the performance upgrades. So notice how they basically split up the packages. This is supposed to be kind of like a, I guess, a demo car. Obviously, you could buy this car if you wanted, but it's supposed to show all the different stuff that the Mazda dealership can do. So if you want just the blackout package, for example, or if you want, the window tint with the interior and exterior protection package, the performance package. So I think it's cool as like a demonstration vehicle. But you guys can see the total price there, $46,304. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's the visibility over the hood, and you can see the heads-up display, both of the mirrors, just do a blind spot monitoring with the rest of the rear. And, well, we're going to reverse first, but let's zoom away. I'm super excited to review this. I know that there's some people are going to be cynical about this build because they're going to be like, Ben, it doesn't have a crazy power increase, right? It's just an air intake. And I understand, but I think it's cool that the dealership has gone for a more, what I would call, conservative build rather than going all out, because that still leaves the person that buys this to decide if they want to do more performance or not. Because for some people, the Mazda 3 is already fast enough. It just needs a little bit more flair, and that's what this provides. For others, right, it might not be fast enough, so then it's like, okay, well, if you want to spend the extra money for an access port and to tune it a little bit, then you can do that, right? So I think it was I don't know. I think it's good, the choice. But anyways, I drove a regular turbo before this, so I'll be able to tell you the difference in terms of driving with both of them. So I will tell you, with the lowering springs, it's still really comfortable. You do have less travel, obviously, so it is going to give you a stiffer feel over bumps compared to a stock Mazda 3, but it's not uncomfortable. It's actually really comfortable. So yeah, springs, I'd say, are good. And the other thing is, this, as the more loaded up package, the Premium Plus, nice interior. Like, this is super nice for a Mazda 3. Again, this is supposed to be an economy hatchback, and it's like a luxury car in here with this interior. That torque's really good still. It's so cool to hear that turbo noise. Oh, that's so fun. That is very, very exciting. And I don't think, I mean, at least on the sticker here with the performance editions, I didn't see anything with an exhaust. So I think we're still stock exhaust. So you could also do an aftermarket exhaust if you wanted to make it even louder. But it's already it's a good sound profile, I would say. We're gonna give this Mercedes a little bit of space. They've got an AMG badge and they're going slow. Now, does it feel any quicker than the stock Mazda 3 Turbo? I'd say that it feels... It's about the same. It's about the same, but the experience is way more exciting. So first off, the turbo I reviewed was a carbon turbo, no paddle shifters. This has the paddle shifters, so I can shift myself and have fun with the turbo blow off noise. Man, I feel like an air intake with any turbocharged car, just, it makes the driving experience, just being able to hear the whooshes. And this one's got a really nice sound quality to it. I really like it. And the 6-speed's very responsive, for those of you that are wondering. It's smooth too, so I think that's another plus. I could just listen to this car all day with that turbo noise. Yeah, and when you downshift, you just kind of get a little bit of the whooshes too. It's fun. This is a very fun car to drive. Wow. Yeah, the lowering springs, I think it does help out the handling. This does feel a little bit more on rails compared to the stock suspension Mazda 3 Turbo that I just drove before this. So summing things up, this, my friends, is what the Mazda 3 Turbo should be, right? At the minimum, right? It has such a cool, like, again, the lowered appearance looks so good, and the turbo noise that you get, and it doesn't ruin the driving experience. It still feels like a, what I call a pseudo luxury car, because it's not technically from a luxury brand, but it has all the luxury car stuff. And so it still has that luxury feel, but it has the fun, sporty driving experience. Like, I think this is what Mazda should do. Like, Mazda's kind of this weird place where they're deciding if they want to do off-road stuff or luxury. I think they should go all out on this performance luxury, like what they did in their mid-2000s, right? In the early 2000s with Zoom Zoom. Bring Zoom Zoom back and do stuff like this. Like, a Mazda dealer shouldn't have to make what Mazda should be making, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this Mazda 3 turbo build. But I think this is really cool, and yeah, just let me know your thoughts.